we had a new policy change. And I wanted to just pop on today to let you guys know about this because it is so, so exciting. As of the 1st of December just gone, you can now combine your case credits from all over the world to help you to climb the marketing plan. So this is such a great incentive to build globally. I'm going to explain it because I am a huge fan of the company policy. And at 8:30 Friday night, I'm sharing a room with Michelle Stonhill. 8:30 Friday night, we were actually tucked up in bed reading the company policy. And I was really enjoying it. And we were chatting back and forth. Did you know this? Did you know that? Oh, I've never noticed that bit before. I really enjoy it, but I understand that sometimes when these policies come out or the incentives come out, it's a little bit difficult if you're not kind of used to the company policy speak. So I just like to break it all down super, super simply. So I'm going to do that for you now, if that's okay. But I do want to say that it's never think you have to go off and build a global business, because you have got so much opportunity here in the UK. And I don't want you to go away from this and think, right, now I know how to build global, I'm going to go and do that. Because, you really should learn your skills here and build a business here as well. As a priority in your home country. I was just so excited on my lunch break because I was inspired by Louise Hancock's slot. Anyone else? And immediately I just grabbed my bag, grabbed my cards, and I went straight outside the hall to start talking to people. I went down to the arts and crafts exhibition, got myself a visitor badge, started chatting to the marketing manager and worked the room, walked up and down, met some staff in some of the little kiosks around here, and I'm just so excited and grateful to be here in the UK because I believe it's the easiest place to build a business. However, let me tell you about this global thing. So we can now combine case credits from any country each month to make up those first 25 case credits that you need for supervisor. You can also combine your case credits from lots of different countries for the 75 case credits that you need to make assistant manager, and onto the 120 case credits you need to make manager. Write this down. You still have to be 4cc active in your home country. So if you are registered here in the UK, that means you have to be 4cc active here. You can't combine your 4cc from lots of different countries. Does that make sense? All clear on that bit? Great. So what I've decided to do is to tell you a real-time story of how this works. So Caroline, in December, she's a lady in my team. Caroline, in December, was 4cc active in England. She had done a total of just under 8 case credits. Her team member, Jackie, in Ireland, did just over 6 case credits. So the 6 or so case credits in Ireland, combined with the nearly 8 case credits that they had done in England, together made 14. Got it? Cool. Then, in January, Caroline was 4cc active here, and Jackie did 4cc over in Ireland, and with a few more sales here in England and in Australia, added all up together, Caroline did 11 case credits. So if you take December's case credits from Ireland and England of 14 and add them to January's case credits of 11 from Australia, Ireland, and England. Caroline's total was 25 case credits, and she made supervisor. Get it? How exciting is this? Because when I started in 2010, you couldn't do that, of course. So I was doing like 10 case credits in Spain, 10 case credits in England, 5 case credits in Australia, and I wasn't able to add all those up to climb the marketing plan, but now you can. I just think this is such a fantastic improvement, and one that we've been waiting for a very, very long time. So why would you want to build a global business? I know that all of the six-figure earners will tell you that it's important to have multiple income streams. Have you ever heard that before when you've been reading business books? It's important to have lots of streams of income. But we can do that right here under the umbrella of Forever. Because I have a multiple income stream, because I don't just have one from Forever in the UK, I have it from Spain, Dubai, Australia, Ireland. How cool. So you can get checks from all around the world. I received checks from countries that I couldn't even point out on the map. I've been getting paid in Dubai for 5 years. I only went there for the first time last year, and I still got no idea where it is, to be honest. Building globally is something that people often say scares them. Anyone get a bit worried about building globally? Anybody think, oh, I don't know, I haven't got a clue, not a sausage. For me, it was a no-brainer. I found from day one it easy to build globally. So I'm going to show you how, because I knew I could, and I know you can too. First of all, where would you find global people? Anybody been served today by someone from a different country? No? You all have. Who went to the table with the Prosecco on this morning? No? Everybody have Prosecco this morning? Lots of people, right? You would have been served, many of you, by a young lady from Lithuania. But by 10:15, as she was packing that table away, nobody had spoken to her about what we do. I did. I said to her, well, I didn't speak to her about what we do. I said, that's an unusual accent. Where are you from? She said, Lithuania. And I thought, I'll go and get her later, because I had to go behind the stage to get ready for doing the roving mic thing. But as I walked away from her, I ran into one of my friends, Kate McRae. Are you in the room? Down here somewhere? Over there. And I said, Kate, that girl over there is from Lithuania. No one's spoken to her about the business. Kate went, leave it with me. Because I didn't want that lady to miss out on the opportunity, because I didn't have time to talk to her right there and then. So Kate went over to her and she said, my friend just told me that you are from Lithuania, is that right? And she said, yes. And she said, I would love to talk to you about what we do, because we also work in Lithuania. Did you know that? No. By 12 o'clock, the application form and the business in a box purchase was done. Hundreds of you got served by that lady. Hundreds of you didn't strike a conversation with her. Kate simply made a conversation with her, asked her if she'd got half an hour today to look at the business. She went outside there, she did a one-to-one because she had her tools ready. She always carries the tools so that she can easily show the presentation either on an iPad or a flip chart. She came back into the room and then the email came through. Isn't that fantastic? So that's one of the places, and I'm so glad that it happened, because it obviously gave me a bit of content for my slot right now. Because I was going to go on to say, like, where do international people hang out? Well, they're on your who do you know list for a start. Who knows someone that's moved overseas? Who knows someone that's moved to Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, Spain? You know, who knows someone from a different country that works in a restaurant? Who likes curries? Indian is my favourite food. I would literally eat it morning, noon and night. Anyone got an Indian restaurant in their village? So you know Indian people, right? What about supermarkets? What about universities, clubs, communities, language schools? And again, what about your who do you know list? People join people they know, like and trust. They also join people that can excite, inspire and enthuse them, which is what Kate did at lunchtime today with the lady from the Prosecco stand. So how would you approach these people? Well, I've just given you the perfect example. What I do and what I would have done had I not had to come backstage, I would have got my international directory out at that point. I would have said, oh, you're from Lithuania. Hold on a minute, I think we have an office there. And I would have flicked through the international directory that I always carry in my handbag. And I would have said, oh, here we are, this is our head office, do you know it? And she would have said, yes. She wouldn't have known the office, but she'd know the town. So carry the international directory at all times. It's £5 from the literature section on foreverliving.com. What about on Facebook? Where could you find international people that hang out on Facebook? Do you have any international people on your Facebook friends list? Striking up a conversation with them, as Louise Hancock's told you earlier, obviously not spamming. What about different forums, international forums? When people think about social media, they think about Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. But what about actual websites that have forums attached to them? That's how I built my first business, via forums, via travel forums. Groups, and I don't just mean on Facebook. As Louise said earlier, groups in real life, in your local community. Real life, face-to-face meeting people. Honestly, I'm so excited by the people that I met at lunchtime today. And as I came back into the hallway, and I saw just groups of Forever Living business owners just stood around chatting to each other, I just wanted to shout at you all, what are you doing? Why are you stood around chatting to each other? Why don't you get out there and share this opportunity with people? Because the whole area outside was flooded with people. Don't be afraid. Go and speak to people face to face. And you know you get good at anything that you practice a lot of. And I know it's a little bit scary, but just do it. You will be rubbish a few times. I'll let you into a little embarrassing situation. When I was quite new in the business, well, in my first 2 years, which I considered to be new, I was at Success Day in Cheltenham. And afterwards, I was going to go and speak in Italy, an event the next day. And I jumped into the car with John and Jane. I was going with them. And we rushed down to London. And we were in the Heathrow, or was it Gatwick? I think in the BA lounge in Heathrow. And Jane said, she's really good fun and she's really competitive. And she said, let's have a little game. Let's see who can get the most contacts whilst we're waiting to board the plane. And I said, right, watch me go. And I was like, bash, 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 getting loads of contacts off people. And then just as we were leaving, I'm getting cocky by now, just as we're leaving to go and board the plane, there was one more lady that nobody had spoken to in that lounge. And I went over and I spoke to her, and she was really rude to me and really dismissive and like basically told me to go away in front of John and Jane. Can you imagine? I died. I wanted the floor to open and swallow me up. I went bright red, and I walked out, and I was waiting for Jane to talk, and she went, I could have told you she'd have been like that. Why do you think I didn't talk to her? You do kind of you do kind of get used to gauging when is a good time to approach someone. It wasn't a good time to approach that lady. She had her head in her work. It wasn't the right time, and you do learn that, but you just have to get back on the horse. Referrals, asking people, who do they know? We've heard Natalie talking about referrals for the products, also referrals for the business. So when you've got an international person, before you do your one-to-one, so not talking about when you're in the UK, because Kate didn't need to find out about doing business in Lithuania to sign that lady up today. But if that lady was in Lithuania and Kate was doing the one-to-one over Skype, then she would need to have the information from Lithuania before going on that call. Too often, I see people frantically asking in Facebook groups for forever, who knows the sign-up details for Lithuania? Who knows the sign-up details for France? It's urgent, blah, blah, blah. Take responsibility for your business and find the information out for yourself. Don't keep a prospect waiting. So contact the local office in the country where you've got your one-to-one. So you do that by getting the international directory out, or go on foreverliving.com. Make contact with that local office. So email them or phone them. Some countries aren't as quick as the UK. We have such a fantastic head office staff, and your emails will be answered so quickly, but some countries work a little bit slower than that. So I actually don't like to email. I like to pick the phone up and make a quick call and ask for the details. So you also need to ask our office to register you to do business in that country first. So if I wanted to work in Latvia, and have I got a team member from Latvia in the room? Hi, Soph. So Sophie lives in Latvia. So before Sophie, so if I wanted to do business in Latvia, what I would have to do is email distributor support in the UK and say, can you activate my ID number to do business in Latvia? And then they will make sure that I'm open for business in Latvia, because although that ID number gives you a kind of license, if you like, to operate in all of our countries, each country has to activate it on their system, and that gets done by your home office. So get your home country office, so UK, to register you in that country. What you need to know when you contact the local head office in the country where you've got your one-to-one. The cost of the starter pack. Either the 2cc pack. Never say what is the cost of the bob, because it won't mean anything in another country. You need to ask for the 2cc combo pack and the contents. Combo pack, write that one down, because it's not something that we use, not a word that we use a lot of in England, is it? You need to know the cost of the minimum order. So here in the UK, you know, people can sign up with the business owner's box, the bob, or they can sign up with a £100 minimum order. So you need both options from the country where you want to do business. You need the prices, so the retail, the wholesale prices of the products. You need the application form. Not every country can sign somebody up online. Some of them are still on paper application forms. You need to know about local trainings and any local support, product centre info. Having this information to hand before you have the one-to-one is so important, in my opinion, because you want to be professional, you want to be slick. You don't want to say, oh, right, so you buy a box, but I don't really know how much it is. Like in England, it's £199. Because the other thing is, we have the cheapest starter box, the £199 box. In most other countries, it's a lot more expensive. So never tell your international person, okay, so you work in euros, our box is about £200, so it's going to be about 260 euros in your country, because you'll find that it's probably going to be 450 euros. So can you see how important it is to get this information before you go into your one-to-one or your business presentation? So what's next? Always establish the time difference. There could be nothing worse than you sending a message or calling someone and it's the middle of the night where they are. If you've got a smartphone, not a dumb phone, then you can have a look at the world clock, and what I do is I add their clock to my screen so I know what time it is in their country all the time, so I know when it's appropriate to contact them. Then you show them the business once you've made the appointment. So the one-to-one presenter on Skype, or maybe you can talk them through it via the Forever Knowledge. So when I joined, I was in Spain, and my sponsor, Kate, is she in the room? Hello. She got me to log on to Forever Knowledge, and then she gave me a little code. We don't really use that nowadays, but it's really effective. On Forever Knowledge, you can give someone a link and a code, and then you can control the screen that they're seeing and talk them through the one-to-one, and that's how I joined. Sign them up, because you've already got the form, you already know the options for them to sign up. Plug them into your team group or your uplines team group, just like you would with any other team member. Find any trainings. This is a courtesy thing. I mean, they will speak your language, so they'll speak English. You wouldn't have got to this stage if they weren't speaking English or whatever language it is that you speak. But what I would do as a courtesy is I will always go and find from the official websites and the official YouTube channels trainings in their language too. So then you arrange your first planning meeting, and guess how you do that? With the First Steps to Manager booklet. And you can do that online too. Most other countries now have that First Steps to Manager booklet too. And manage their expectations. Don't say, right, so what would normally happen is I would come and help you do your first launch. What would normally happen is we would meet at the BP on Wednesday night, but obviously we can't do that, sorry. They don't know what normally happens. They know what you tell them. So don't lead them in with a negative thing to start with and make them think that they're not going to get the kind of support that you can give people locally, because you can give them support. So manage their expectations. Plug them into your rolling trainings, your weekly trainings, your webinars, all online. You can actually Skype into their product launch if they need that kind of support. Although I will tell you, I've never Skyped into anyone's product launch abroad, because if you teach them how to do it, and we've got lots of training on this, then they should be able to do it themselves. And from now on, you just treat them exactly the same as you would a local recruit, but you do it online. It may be, for example, that Sophie's team in Latvia want to set up a Latvian group and put everything in their own language, and that's fine. Don't go flying over. It's not cost effective for you, it's not necessary, but as a courtesy, me personally, if somebody makes manager in my team overseas, then I would personally fly over to be at their first success day, but you don't have to. So don't think, I don't want to build globally because I don't want to fly around and invest money in doing that, because you don't have to. So the great thing is you can develop managers in other countries, you can develop chairman's bonus legs in other countries. The world is literally your oyster. So let's look at my stats. Can this really work? 16 of my 20 frontline managers live in another country to me. Not one of them or their teams had me in person to do their first planning meeting with them. Not one of them had me at their launch. And I personally didn't have one planning meeting in person with my sponsor, who's here in England and I'm in Spain, She didn't personally come over and do me a planning meeting, or she wasn't at my launch, but it still worked. I didn't have any success days or trainings where I was, and I didn't have any other Forever people, but I did have all the trainings at hand online, and I did have what was once called the Teach to Reach, which is now the First Steps to Manager, and that's really all you need. And as I said, I receive checks from countries I've never, ever been to. Who wants that? I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? I'm also more likely to receive a bigger chairman's bonus check because I've got case credits coming in from different places. So stop being so scared about building globally, change your thinking, and instead of seeing it as a challenge, see it as a real opportunity, and you're really going to watch your business soar. Because building global is the key to forever fortune. I hope that helped, and I hope to see you all building great global businesses very soon.